I grew up in Germany as a kid, and we didn't really have games in like the regular sense of video games when I was growing up. We didn't have a lot of money. We never had a console. You know, maybe we'd play like Mortal Kombat at a friend's house or something sometimes, but most of the time we spent outside. You know, we'd play cops and robbers on our bikes and ride around the forest and stuff. So we were always playing games, and we had big imaginations, but it wasn't in the sense of video games that we have today. So my first introduction to the industry really was when I moved back to Europe. I was looking for work that was a bit different to what I was doing before, and I actually got a call saying, hey, would you be interested in working for Xbox in London? And I thought, sure, why not? That sounds interesting. I started working for Xbox here in London. As a producer and presenter for something called Xbox Upload. It was like a video sharing and editing platform on the Xbox One. And I really sort of fell in love with the community, you know, the community of players who are really just passionate about games and the creativity behind all of that. And the industry as well, like the people in the industry, they loved what they did. And that's really infectious, you know, you want to be around that, you want to be a part of it. So I play a lot of, I guess, different types of games because I come from a console background, but I'm now at a mobile studio. So I like both. Play some Overwatch, a little bit of LOL, even though I'm not very good at it, let's get real. I actually coached an Overwatch team for the Digital Schoolhouse tournament. It was an all-female team, which was really exciting. They, you know, kind of schooled all the boys and made it to the tournament, which was really neat. They were much better than I was at Overwatch, but still. Now I work for Space Ape Games. We're a mobile dev and publisher, and I sit on the marketing team. I do a lot of video content, so I shoot, I edit, I do presenting. I run our live streams. I also do some PR events, but my most recent project is actually to do with mentorship. My latest project at Space Ape is called Space Ape Varsity, and that's a mentorship program that I set up at the company. Basically what we wanted to do was try to provide a clearer path for people trying to get into the industry. And I think for myself as well, I didn't have a lot of exposure to the industry before I got into it, so I thought it would be, you know, a really cool way for us to be able to give back to people who are trying to get their foot in the door. So we partnered with different universities in the city to put on a lecture series about different disciplines within the industry. So I think I'm really lucky to work where I work because it's a really encouraging space. I mean, we're talking about, you know, diversity and women in the workplace, and one of our teams, actually, one of our new game teams is led by females, and the kind of game that they're making is very different from some of the other games that another game team might make. And I think it really benefits, you know, our studio and benefits the industry to have those different voices be represented. Because sometimes, the products that we make will be different and speak to a different subset of the population just based on who's behind them and who's inspiring them and pushing them forward. So I think that's really important. So advice I would give to, you know, people trying to get into the industry today is, one, don't be afraid to start small, and don't be afraid to take a role that maybe isn't exactly what you envisioned, because once you get your foot in the door, like if you're good, you're going to get to where you want to go. And also to really keep an open mind, because where you want to go might actually change depending on, you know, your journey. So not to despise small beginnings. And then another thing I would say is, you know, as much as we put an emphasis on work and our career and how important that is, like, that's not really the thing that matters. I think what really matters is, you know, not to let what you do define who you are. It's really important to let who you are define what you do. And if you have that, then you'll be fine.